You're a summoner? That's the weakest class in the world. The moment Lin Xiao awakened his class, everyone laughed at him. His rival called him trash. No team wanted him. No one believed he could clear a dungeon. Even a normal combat class was considered better than becoming a summoner. But they had no idea. Lin Xiao had awakened a unique S-tier talent. A talent so powerful that nobody else in the world could ever obtain it. Every single day, he gains a brand new S-rank talent. His first summon was just a tiny skeleton. Weak, pathetic, worthless. But after receiving an S-rank talent, it evolved into a terrifying Death Knight. A monster capable of slaughtering entire armies. Then his slime gained the power of endless evolution through devouring. His goblin became a master of legendary weapons. And that was only the beginning. While other people struggled to make one summon stronger, Lin Xiao gave countless S-rank talents to all of his summons. Every day they evolved. Every day they grew stronger. Every day they became more terrifying. Geniuses, prodigies, heroes, none of them could even defeat his weakest summon. Then the abyss descended upon the world. Demon gods appeared. Ancient monsters awakened. Even the gods themselves looked down upon humanity. But when humanity stood on the edge of extinction, one man stepped forward. Behind him stood an army powerful enough to shake heaven and earth. An army of death knights, ancient beasts, divine creatures, and beings powerful enough to rival gods. The world finally realized one terrifying truth. The strongest army was never an army. The strongest kingdom was never a kingdom. It was one summoner, and his summons. This is the story of Lin Xiao, the summoner who turned the weakest class into the strongest existence in the world. Week 1 8-hour video will be uploaded. All novels uploaded here are completed, so you will get a full story without searching or waiting. I have listened to the translated version on web, and there are no major problems with translation. If you want Chinese novel translated, give me the original name of the novel and I will respond to your request as soon as possible. Please make sure your request is on the latest video. If you hear this "u" sound in the novel, it means either question mark or some space is left, like getting materials or experience gain there more but not shown. If after a name is used and after there is silence, it means exclamation marks were used as in shock. I don't know if this will happen in recorded one, but it happened in web version. Chapter 439. Upside down, the intense dizziness made it hard to tell which way was which, but fortunately it didn't last long. After Lin Xiao calmed down, she found herself transported to an unknown place. However, he was certain that he was still in the dungeon. Where is this place? Just as Lin Xiao was wondering, she heard a hissing sound in her ear, like the sound of breath being expelled. In a short while, a bluish poisonous gas filled the surroundings. Lin Xiao immediately sensed something was wrong and ordered, "Blow away these poisonous gases." Starlight Unicorn immediately released its star power, quickly dispersing the approaching blue poison gas. However, after being blown halfway, the poison gas bounced back and hit the wall. It is an invisible wall of air. Am I trapped inside? Lin Xiao immediately realized what was happening. At this moment, hearty laughter came from all around. As expected of a genius, to have arrived here in such a short time, it really surprises me. It's Dulin Ju's voice. This will also be your burial place? But don't worry. You will die quickly. After all, the poison here is not so strong that it will kill you with a single touch. It is just a little bit special. Upon hearing this, Lin Xiao's expression darkened. So Dulin Ju knew his whereabouts all along? Or did he only find out after entering this place? Lin Xiao wasn't sure, but she decided to leave first. An attack was launched in all directions, confirming that they were trapped in a special space, which was only about 20 square meters in size. Bomb that spot! Lin Xiao pointed in a direction, signaling Starlight Unicorn to launch an attack. Starlight Unicorn immediately unleashed a galactic shockwave, which struck the spatial wall but only caused slight ripples, without even a crack being visible. Is this spatial wall really that sturdy? Lin Xiao was shocked. Just then, a weak voice rang out from not far away. Don't waste your energy. Once you're trapped inside, there's no way to escape, and don't even think about causing any damage. The sudden sound surprised Lin Xiao. Looking in the direction of the sound, she saw a figure lying not far away. Due to the blue poisonous fog, she could not see the person's appearance clearly. Are you Liang Fengzhou? Even though he only saw a figure, Lin Xiao immediately voiced his guess. The other person was taken aback. How did you know? It's actually quite easy to guess. Some people are on Dulanju's side, while the rest who aren't on his side will definitely be killed or tortured by him. Just like Qin Kai we encountered before. So he guessed that Liang Fengzhou was probably not dead either, and only tried to guess after hearing the sudden sound. Can this poisonous fog absorb and release the power of attacks? Lin Xiao asked. Despite Dulanju's claim that the poisonous fog wasn't very toxic, he didn't believe it and still had Starlight Unicorn disperse the surrounding fog. However, as the blue fog increased, he had no choice but to protect himself. No, Liang Fengzhou said weakly. Once you absorb this poisonous fog, it will continuously erode the power within your body, and it will even completely devour the surrounding elements. Oh, Lin Xiao raised an eyebrow. Just that. Hearing Lin Xiao's surprised tone, Liang Fengzhou was puzzled, but still said, That's all I know. After I was seriously injured, that damned bastard threw me here. Okay, I understand. Lin Xiao then deactivated the Starlight Unicorn's protection, allowing the blue poisonous mist to be absorbed by her body. Heart of reversal effect triggered. Your attributes remain at medium to high, disappearing upon leaving the poisonous fog. Lin Xiao's lips curled up slightly. This was exactly what he had expected. This blue poisonous mist is indeed not poisonous, but it will continuously decrease one's own attributes, making one weaker and weaker until the attributes become negative, and then one dies. But this effect is a great thing for Lin Xiao, constantly increasing his own attributes, even though it only works in the poisonous fog. This time, Lin Xiao didn't send Starlight Unicorn. Instead, he stepped forward himself, clenched his right fist, and gathered starlight power before unleashing a punch. Star impact. Boom! The enormous roar shook the entire space. Even Liang Fengzhou, who was waiting for death to come, was shocked by this sudden action. He forced himself to sit up and looked at where Lin Xiao was, his mouth wide open. He saw the blue poisonous mist rapidly leaking out from where Lin Xiao was, and a large hole had been blasted into the area. It's shattered. How did he do that? Liang Fengzhou was shocked. How did he manage to unleash such power amidst the constantly consuming poisonous mist? He quickly regained his senses and shouted with all his might. There are 2 special stones ahead. That's the source of the blue poisonous fog. Lin Xiao was about to rescue Liang Fengzhou, but upon hearing his words, she immediately changed direction and rushed forward. With a star leap, Lin Xiao arrived in front of the stone Liang Fengzhou had mentioned. The stone emitted a green light, from which a blue poisonous mist was continuously released. You're asking for it. Suddenly, a furious shout came from the sky, and a gray figure crashed down. Lin Xiao immediately dodged, and when he saw what the other person looked like, he was stunned. You've come back to me in a different guise, haven't you? The gray figure in front of them looked exactly like the blue demon, except that it wasn't holding the iron pillar and had changed its color from blue to gray. Poison Demon, Elite, Space Guardian. Level 80, Quality, Legendary. Talent, Venomous Body, S rank. Skills, Meteor Power, Deadly Poison Gas, Weakening. I like your single ability. Upon seeing the poison demon's abilities and attributes, Lin Xiao couldn't help but smile. Heart of Reversal is exactly what restrains him. You actually managed to break through my poison space, but can you withstand this attack? The poison demon let out a roar, and its originally gray body emitted a golden light, making it extremely dazzling. Fancy and gaudy. Lin Xiao once again used Star Leap to arrive in front of the poison demon. The poison demon was startled and didn't even have time to react before he was punched hard, his face swelling up instantly, demonstrating the immense power of the blow. Ha ha ha. If you touch me, you will surely die. My poison will corrode you completely, leaving not even ashes. The poison demon laughed loudly, but the next second, his laughter stopped abruptly, because he saw that Lin Xiao, who had been tainted by his venom, was completely unharmed, and had even absorbed it. How is that possible? The poison demon was greatly alarmed. Surprised, Lin Xiao smiled faintly. Thank you for providing the venom. The corrosive effects of the venom were transformed into increased defense and strength for Lin Xiao. Goodbye then. Lin Xiao threw another punch, and at that moment Starlight Unicorn also flashed behind the poison demon to launch an attack together. Bang! Trapped in his own space, Liang Fangzhou suddenly heard a cracking sound and sensed the blue poisonous mist rapidly dissipating. He succeeded? He shattered that stone. Liang Fangzhou was overjoyed. Although he didn't know who the other person was, he felt as if he had been saved. Chapter 440, Realm of Nothingness. Somewhere in the void, Dulanju saw Lin Xiao's situation through the folding of space. Seeing that he easily killed the poison demon, his expression turned ugly. Isn't he summoner? Why is he so strong? Dulanju spoke coldly, sensing that Lin Xiao was a variable that had to be dealt with. Dulanju, what happened? Could something have gone wrong? A woman in soft armor asked coldly. Zhang Lin, the captain of the other team. After Dulanju obtained divine power, she stood by his side without hesitation, along with her teammates. You promised to give us all the divine glimpse and divine power, so don't let us down at this crucial moment, said Xiao Ansai, the mage in Zhang Lin's team. That's right, we've gone too far now, there's no going back. If you can't handle it, hand over divine power to our captain. The priest in the group questioned. What do you mean? If it weren't for Brother Du, you wouldn't even have the qualifications to contact the gods. The members of Dulanju's team couldn't help but refute. All right. Dulanju interrupted him as he was about to say something, turning to look at everyone. Something unexpected has happened. It seems Lin Na has used special means to request reinforcements from the outside, and the reinforcements have already arrived. Have other teams come to our aid? Zhang Lin frowned. This is not good news. Yes, but there was only one person. One person. Everyone was taken aback. Would someone dare to enter the abyss alone? Dungeon is still the higher level abyss dungeon. Dulanju continued. Although there is only one person, one summoner is worth a whole team. Summoner. Zhang Lin was taken aback. It was a profession she had almost never heard of, but she quickly realized who it was. Is it Lin Xiao? Lin Xiao? That's impossible. He's already reached the advanced level of Abyss Dungeon? That's too exaggerated, Xia Ansai exclaimed in shock. But only one person has been able to elevate Summoner to this level. Dulanju. It's him, and he's already arrived at the realm of nothingness. Dungeon will probably be here soon. Then what are you dawdling for? Hurry up and take action. Didn't you say that this divine power can open up the outside world and allow the gods to descend? Xia Ansai said quickly. The time isn't up yet. Dulanju looked at the group and stated her thoughts. So we must send someone to slow his advance. Realm of nothingness. The space guardians of dungeon couldn't stop him at all. It was only a matter of time before he arrived here. You want my team to go? Zhang Lin noticed Dulanju's gaze and spoke in a cold voice. No, each of our teams will send 2 people. That's fair. Isn't it? Dulanju said with a smile. Zhang Lin glanced at Dulanju's team, which consisted of only 3 people. Qin Kai had been killed long ago because of his differing beliefs with them. If both sides field 2 players, then only Dulanju will be left, and whatever advantage comes his way, it will be on his side. Okay, I agree. Zhang Lin nodded in agreement. Dulanju reached out and pushed forward, the space rippling like a lake. Choose your people and move on. It's best to be quick. After all, you need to arrive before Lin Xiao heads to the next location. You can use spatial magic? Zhang Lin was shocked. No, it's only temporary. Didn't you notice that the boss wasn't where it was supposed to be? Dulanju asked with a smile. Zhang Lin then noticed that he hadn't encountered any bosses in dungeon, even at the very end of the void. When the gods descend to earth, they are naturally overjoyed and even able to leave this hellish place. I happened to make a deal with him and gained some spatial power. Dulanju did not hide anything. On the contrary, she proudly explained the situation to Zhang Lin. Zhang Lin suddenly felt a chill run through his body. You actually made a deal with the abyssal demon? Do you have a death wish? Time is running out. Let's hurry up and choose the people, Dulanju said calmly. Zhang Lin looked at her team and let her choose, but the selection had already been decided long ago. Dulanju's team was reduced to only priests and guards. The only ones she could send out were her own mage and assassin. Xian Cai Chi Shui, you 2 be careful. I'm afraid he has other motives. Before leaving, Zhang Lin gave him a special piece of advice. The mage and the assassin nodded. Don't worry, we'll be careful. Big sister, you need to be careful too, Xian Cai reminded her. I'll be fine. With Shaoling here, he can't handle me by himself. After rescuing Liang Fangzhou, Lin Xiao asked him about the specific situation. After all, he was the team leader and knew some things better than others. This divine power appeared suddenly. I obtained it first, then gave it to Dulanju and Zhang Lin to study together, and finally Dulanju monopolized it all by himself. Upon hearing the name Dulanju, Liang Fangzhou's face contorted with anger. Ignoring their feud, Lin Xiao grasped the key point. Did divine power appear suddenly? Or is it not a product of dungeon? Liang Fangzhou shook his head. It doesn't seem like it. Besides, strange sounds come out of the divine power from time to time, some of which we can't understand. Lin Xiao frowned, pondered for a moment, and then asked, Can you be sure which deity it is? I can't be sure. I haven't had much contact with him. Liang Fangzhou paused for a moment, then continued, I know Dulanju's personality quite well. I've been in quite a few teams with him, but this time he's acting so strangely. It might be related to that divine power voice. "Oh, right." Liang Fangzhou seemed to remember something again and said, "When I was seriously injured, I heard him and Jiang Lin discussing something about how they would be able to let the other party in soon, and then they would be able to obtain stronger power. Let them in." Lin Xiao's face darkened as she recalled what Green God had said when he suddenly contacted her. A god from the great universe discovered a breach in the temple and wanted to use it to enter. Could Green God be referring to them? If it's them, things might not be so good. By deploying a small force to lure the professions within the dungeon, and then working together from within and without, the breach in the temple can be completely opened. If that's the case, then we absolutely cannot let them succeed. "I understand what happened. I'll take care of them," Lin Xiao said. "Although we don't know where they are yet, we're sure to run into them if we just keep walking along Dungeon Road." "Oh, right." Lin Xiao remembered something else and asked, "Realm of Nothingness, a dungeon, seems to have merged with several dungeons. Why didn't I see any other dungeon bosses on my way here?" Liang Fangzhou thought for a moment and said, "I think I've seen the boss of Dragon City before. For some reason, he left and entered the Realm of Nothingness, which is the dungeon here. Boss. The boss of the Black Earth dungeon seems to have arrived as well, but I'm not entirely sure what the situation is." Chapter 441. 3 dungeons are all the bosses gathered in one place. Lin Xiao roughly understood the reason. The gods of the great universe not only lured the professionals into dungeon, but also made contact with the boss of Abyss Dungeon, hoping to use their power to open a breach in the temple. "Looks like we need to hurry." Lin Xiao looked at Liang Fangzhou. "I will fight alongside you and will never let Dulanju succeed," Liang Fangzhou said with unwavering determination. "No need. I can come by myself, and besides, you're here." Before Lin Xiao could finish speaking, the surrounding space suddenly twisted and deformed, and before Liang Fangzhou could be frozen into an ice sculpture, he was forcibly separated. Amidst the brief dizziness and discomfort, a deep male voice came from all directions. "Eternal water prison." Without any time to react, having just experienced the discomfort caused by the spatial distortion, I felt myself falling into the water with a constant feeling of suffocation. Opening her eyes, Lin Xiao saw 4 people outside the water prison through the distorted shadows in the water. 2 men and 2 women. Killing puppet. Qi Shui shot out a flying needle that pierced Lin Xiao's body, followed by a white silk thread that shot out and connected to the puppet in her hand. Before Lin Xiao could figure out what was going on, she felt a sharp pain in her heart, as if she had been stabbed. "Did Dulanju send you to kill me?" Even though she had already guessed the other party's origins, Lin Xiao still asked a question. The other party acted faster than he expected, sending people over so quickly. His gaze then fell on the rope connected to his body, and he instinctively tried to break it with his hand. But when he touched the rope, he found that his palm had simply passed right through it. Not a physical entity? Lin Xiao was somewhat surprised, as she continued to experience pain from her injuries, and her blood volume was steadily decreasing. Good cooperation. Forbidden curse blocked my movements, and then killed me in this special way, but that's not enough. Seeing Lin Xiao preparing to summon, Xia Ansai quickly shouted, "Quickly! Disable his skill!" Priest Yun Nen immediately released the prepared forbidden curse. Lin Xiao was just about to summon Starlight Unicorn when he found that there was no response. Basic lockdown? Lin Xiao raised an eyebrow. How come this guy is still alive? I've already slashed him 100 or 200 times. How come he's still full of energy? Does he have that much health? Qi Shui, who kept attacking the puppet in front of her, was very puzzled. Summoners should be similar to mages, both being fragile and needing protection. But now that I've slashed him so many times, even though the damage was transferred by the puppet, the amount of damage is enough to kill several level 80 mages. He's no ordinary person. He dared to come here alone, so he must have some special methods. Continue the attack, Xia Ansai said. Qi Shui nodded and quickly unleashed a variety of skills at the puppet. Xia Ansai wasn't idle either. He prepared another forbidden curse and said to Yun Anen, "Continue preparing the forbidden curse to seal the skill. As long as he can't summon the summoned beast, he's trash." "Okay." Yun Anen nodded. But just then, bang! The eternal water prison suddenly exploded, and Lin Xiao strolled out of it with a leisurely air. "Forbidden curse has been broken?" Xia Ansai's expression changed, and he looked angrily at Yunanen, questioning her loudly. "Didn't you block his skills? Why was he still able to break free from my forbidden curse?" Yunanen was also confused and quickly said, "The seal hasn't disappeared. He really can't summon the summoned beast." "It didn't disappear?" Xia Ansai was stunned, looking at Lin Xiao in horror. Lin Xiao wiped the water off her face and said calmly, "Your forbidden curse is too weak. I destroyed it with one punch. Since it was a sneak attack, shouldn't you have been more prepared?" "You?" Xia Ansai's expression changed, and then he roared, "Die!" The second forbidden curse is released immediately. Lin Xiao then launched an attack, moving at incredible speed. Only a blur could be seen flashing through the air. As the first professional player in the team, he immediately stepped forward. Zhang Jing roared, and a 100-pound shield blocked the front of the group. "Stop right there." As Lin Xiao, whose speed had been increased to the maximum, suddenly felt a heavy weight pressing down on him, and his speed immediately slowed down. "Gravity!" Lin Xiao frowned, and then heard Zhang Jing shout again, "Mocking!" Lin Xiao felt her body move uncontrollably, launching an attack at the shield in Zhang Jing's hand. This is a skill that this guardian class possesses. Chasing the waves. Xia Ansai's forbidden curse came crashing down, attacking from both sides. Lin Xiao glanced at the shield in front of him. Since he couldn't change the target, he might as well just smash it to pieces. Abandoning all defensive power and concentrating it all in his fist, he asked, "Are you confident you can withstand this punch?" Zhang Jing's face darkened. "No one can break through my defenses, let alone a summoner like you." Bang! Lin Xiao threw a punch, and the epic shield, weighing 100 pounds, roared, followed by a muffled thud from inside. Zhang Jing's expression changed drastically. The next second, the epic shield in his hand was smashed in two by a punch. He was stunned on the spot, completely unprepared for such an outrageous thing to happen before his eyes. Not only him, but also Xia Ansai, Qi Shui, Yun Anen and others were stunned when they saw this scene. This was also the first time they had ever seen professionals break through the shields of guardians. Moreover, the shield was shattered even when the opponent was several levels higher. Puff! Lin Xiao's fist didn't stop. It slammed directly into Zhang Jing's chest, instantly injuring him and knocking him unconscious. But he wasn't having an easy time either, as he took a direct hit from behind with a forbidden curse. Despite his physical abilities being far beyond those of ordinary people, he still felt very uncomfortable after each forbidden curse. "It's your turn." Lin Xiao looked at the remaining three people, then disappeared from her spot and appeared in Yunanen's place the next second. Seeing Lin Xiao's stern face, Yunanin's face turned deathly pale, and she was so frightened that she wet herself. "No, don't kill me. I was forced into it. Dulanju coerced me. I didn't want to do this at all," Yunanin said in horror. Puff! Lin Xiao showed no mercy, delivering a punch directly to her heart, instantly killing her. Don't wait until you're about to die to realize you've made a mistake. After dealing with the priest in the team, Lin Xiao's skill was also deactivated. Damn it, are you really a summoner? Why does a summoner possess strength comparable to a warrior? Xia Ansai roared, feeling that what was in front of him was not a human being, but a monster. It's just that you don't know much about summoner. After dealing with Xia Ansai, Lin Xiao noticed that Qi Shui had long since disappeared. Instead of giving chase, he summoned the Snow Maiden doll, froze the corpses, and prepared to take them back. His mission was rescue. Whether the other person was dead or alive was not his concern. This guy isn't even human. He relies on his physical body to generate power. How could he possibly have such terrifying strength? When Qi Shui realized something was wrong, she immediately abandoned everyone and fled the place. She wanted to convey this news to her captain as much as possible, that Lin Xiao was not as simple as they thought. No wonder she dared to go alone. Looking back, he breathed a sigh of relief when he saw that Lin Xiao hadn't followed. Just as she breathed a sigh of relief, she heard a gentle voice beside her. "Miss, where are you going?" Qi Shui froze as she saw an extremely handsome face appear beside her, smiling at her like a gentleman. She certainly didn't think the other person was trying to pick her up. She thrust the dagger out suddenly, yelling, "Die!" Spider Prince quickly dodged. "It seems this lady is in a bad mood. In that case, I'll have to ask you to be quiet for a moment." Spider Prince twirled his 10 fingers, each one wrapped in fine spider silk. As his fingers tightened, a whoosh sound came from midair, and blood splattered everywhere like an orange bursting with juice. Qi Enin, like prey caught in a spider's web, was hanging there, unable to sense any breath from her. Chapter 442. Freeze all the bodies and put them into the storage space. Although they were traitors, my mission is to rescue them. Whether they are alive or dead is not my concern. Liang Fangzhou should have been frozen long ago. After dealing with their matter, Lin Xiao felt a little depressed and wanted to go see him again. He's the team captain, after all. He shouldn't be weak. He shouldn't die anytime soon. Let's go find Dulanju first. After all, communicating with the gods in the great universe is not a good thing, and it would be even worse if they were allowed to enter. Is your method really going to work? So much time has passed. Why is there still no reaction? Outside the breach in the temple, 3 gods were already waiting. They were quite shocked when they first discovered the gap. Only after their own side confirmed it did they dare to believe it was real. This news was enough to shock the entire great universe, so naturally they didn't spread it. Instead, they planned to sneak into the temple and get what they wanted first. Don't worry, I've already made contact with them. As long as we work together from the inside and outside, we can break through this breach. Night God closed his eyes and spoke softly, as if everything was under his control. Seeing his confident demeanor, the spirit god breathed a sigh of relief. It's good that you're sure. I was just worried that if we dragged it out too long, the gods of the temple would find out. Humph, if they dare to come, I'll make sure none of them escape. Wolf God sneered, revealing his sharp, bloodthirsty teeth. Come on! The spirit god rolled his eyes at the stupid wolf who only knew how to talk big. If you ran into them, you'd probably be the first one to run away. Although the temple is not what it once was, and most of the gods it established have scattered like birds and beasts, there is still one goddess of destiny. If you were to encounter her, you probably wouldn't even know how you died. Humph. Wolf God merely snorted coldly, offering no rebuttal. Just then, 3 figures appeared on the other side of the gap. The 3 figures were indistinct, but one of them appeared rather short, while the other 2 were much taller. Wolf God immediately opened his eyes and looked over. "Are you all ready?" The short figure spoke up. "Preparations are complete, but I still cannot trust you. You must make a guarantee." Another tall figure spoke up, his voice slightly effeminate. "Your strength is above ours. If you open this breach, you will break your promise and probably kill us all. We must be careful." Night God was taken aback and glanced at Spirit God and Wolf God. The Spirit transmitted a message to him. "They seem unaware that the temple has a special defense mechanism." Night God. "So they were worried that if we went in, they would kill them all and not keep their promise." After a very brief exchange, Night God spoke. "You can rest assured, we will only enter via projection, and our strength is similar to yours." "That's as good as saying nothing," the short figure said. "We'll work with you to open a gap just big enough for one person to enter, and we'll let others in only after we've confirmed that you're all safe." Night God frowned, but after seeing the Spirit God nod in approval, he agreed. "Okay, that's fine." Upon hearing their agreement, the short figure left to make preparations, and the 2 tall figures disappeared as well. "The humans are also ready." The Spirit transmitted its voice to both the Night God and the Wolf God simultaneously to prevent them from being overheard by the other. "Very good." Night God nodded. "It seems that having 2 plans was the right thing to do. These guys are too cautious and probably won't listen to us easily." The Spirit echoed. "I feel the same way. Once this begins, the human side will begin simultaneously. There's no need to create a complete breach. Just leave a gap so we can easily tear it open later," Night God said. "These dawdling bastards. I can't wait to go in and kill them all." Wolf God gritted his teeth, his face contorted with malice. "Control your temper. We're not going in to kill this time. We might even need them to guide us," Night God scolded. Half an hour later, the 3 figures reappeared, and the short figure spoke first. "Let's begin." "Good." Night God nodded, and his powerful divine energy was immediately released, turning the surroundings into darkness, making people feel as if they had fallen into a dark space where they could not see their own hands or fingers and could not tell which way to go. He deliberately made such a big commotion to conceal the effects of the Spirit and to obscure the other party's view. Upon seeing this, the Spirit immediately communicated with the humans who had acquired his divine power, instructing them to begin cooperating with his actions. The short figure on this side, seeing their opponent make their move, they quickly gathered their strength and blasted at the weak point in the gap ahead, attempting to tear it apart. The combined attack from both inside and outside forces finally caused the weakest point of the breach to give way, and a slight cracking sound was heard. Night God was overjoyed and shouted, "Almost there! Increase the output!" While shouting, he looked at the Spirit beside him and saw it nod, confirming that things had been mostly successful. Click! The crack at the weak point was getting louder and louder, and a gap the size of a thumb had appeared, which was spreading at a visible speed. The gap gradually tore open, a process that lasted for half an hour, before the short figure was the first to withdraw his strength. Seeing this, Night God had no choice but to stop, as it was almost impossible for him to continue tearing the gap open by himself. I hope you can keep your promise. After speaking, the short figure took a few steps back to let them in. We have always been a very trustworthy race. Night God smiled, then released a projection that passed through the gap and entered the inner world of the temple. Upon entering, he immediately sensed the difference. This is truly a wonderful place. Night God couldn't help but exclaim. Just then, a pebble was shot at him, and Night God caught it with his hand. A short voice came from behind. Put it on your arm or somewhere else, so we can completely trust you. Night God glanced at the peculiar pebble, and after confirming it wouldn't affect him, smiled. Should I say you're cowardly or cautious? After saying that, he placed the pebble on the back of his hand, and the pebble quickly embedded itself into his skin. I've done as you instructed. Can you let my companion in now? Can. The three short men acted again, working with the spirit to tear open the half-healed gap once more, allowing her to enter smoothly. Good stuff. No wonder everyone in the great universe is eyeing it. The spirit sighed. Then, seeing that the three people still hadn't shown up, he frowned. We're already inside, aren't you going to show up? Isn't that a bit insincere? It's not too late to show up after all of you have come in. As the short man spoke, he tossed him another pebble and explained its purpose. Coward. The spirit scoffed, but still obeyed the other party's words. Subsequently, Wolf God was also included using the same method. After the three of them entered, the short man finally came into view. Actually, he is not short at all. He is nearly 2 meters tall. He only appears much shorter compared to the other two. He wore a purple hood adorned with spikes, dragon scale-like ornaments on both sides of his neck, and a long black robe over his bare upper body. He also wore a large gold collar and an intricate gold belt, exuding luxury. He wore dark red trousers, black dragon boots, gold armbands, a gemstone ring on his left hand, and a goblet filled with purple liquid in his right hand. Mysterious and majestic, it gives people the aura of a king looking down on the world. When Night God saw the other person's appearance, he felt slightly inferior. Nice to meet you, outsider. My name is Ball. The man took a sip of wine from his glass and greeted the other man with some politeness, but his failure to extend his hand to shake hands revealed his arrogance. We have kept our promise and let you in. Can you now hand over the divine power you promised us? Night God lowered his hand somewhat angrily and said, I will give it to you, but not now. We'll talk about it after we get what we need. Hearing this explanation, Bar was not angry, as if it were something he had expected. Since you won't give it to us, we'll just have to take it ourselves. Chapter 443. What do you mean? Night God immediately realized something was wrong. The next second, he saw the man's appearance change rapidly. His body rapidly expanded, and a pair of purplish-red dragon eyes emerged from his back. His muscles bulged, revealing hard edges, and his eyes flashed with orange-red light, exuding a fierce and brutal aura, giving people an extreme sense of oppression. Ball instantly transformed into a terrifying dragon, looking down at the three gods who entered from the outside. Even the most foolish Night God would realize what was going on at this moment. Are they courting death and trying to become our enemy? Wolf God roared. His muscles rapidly expanded, and his size increased dramatically, becoming comparable to Baal's molten form. Hee. A tall figure slowly appeared, standing 3 meters tall, with long jet-black hair cascading down his back, exuding an evil aura. The twisted black horns on its head were ferocious and terrifying, and the two bat-like wings on its back made the whole person look extremely eerie. His bare upper body had clearly defined muscles, and his chest was etched with unique purple patterns, which now radiated an eerie and demonic light. The person was suspended in mid-air, with scarlet eyes and a sinister smile, which made people feel creepy. The evil and powerful sense of oppression was suffocating. We've been held here for so long, and finally someone has found out and contacted me from the outside. Do you think you can escape? Owzy's voice carried a hint of evil as he glanced at the giant werewolf and randomly unleashed dark magic. Transformation. The next second, the majestic and enormous wolf god suddenly transformed into a short and clumsy monster, its dull head seemingly embedded in its fat body. What kind of ability is this? Night God's expression changed drastically when he saw Wolf God suddenly transform into a hideous monster. At that moment, the Spirit God immediately launched an attack, while angrily shouting, "You treacherous bastards! We are just a projection. Killing us will do you no good. In the end, you will gain nothing." Bale's enormous dragon eyes snapped open, unleashing a terrifying storm of fire. His dragon claws reached directly at the spirit god, and he sneered, "How could we not obtain the divine power within you? That's exactly what we need." Night God finally understood their intentions. "Short-sighted fools, we are merely projections. Even if you kill us, you will gain nothing. What awaits you is our endless revenge." Night God spoke in a deep voice, responding to Bale's attack. "You don't need to worry about that." Owzy smiled faintly and shot out several black tadpole-like spheres, killing Wolf God, who had transformed into a monster. The spirit realized it had been tricked. Seeing Wolf God killed, it did not rush to his aid, but instead chose to retreat and prepare to leave. Light is merely a projection, but the death of the projection can also cause them some harm. Just as he was about to escape, space rapidly folded, and the endless folding of space compressed his escape route. Spatial power? The spirit was shocked. Before it could react, the top of its head was struck by Bale's dragon claw. The spirit felt dizzy and about to explode. "Ha ha ha! What a pathetic sight! These are the gods of the great universe, so utterly pathetic." Bale's mockery did not anger the night god, who coldly replied, "You can be smug for now. If we don't get it, we'll spread the word, and all life in the great universe will swarm here. Let's see how you die then. Get out." Ball laughed. "You have no chance." After saying that, he quickly dealt with Night God and the spirit. But their purpose goes far beyond that. Another figure, who had been hiding behind the curtain, appeared behind the two. Its body resembled a demon, with dark purplish-red skin as if scorched by a burning power. It had curved, ferocious horns on its head, and its face was shrouded in cross-shaped flames, like a demon returning from the abyss. Its body is covered with many black spikes, and some parts are burning with crimson flames. It holds a huge scepter in its hand, and a special golden power flows through the center of the scepter. Spatial expansion. Janus raised the spatial scepter in his hand, emitting a deep sound. The next instant, an invisible spatial force spread out, actually crossing the gap that appeared in the temple and extending outside, encompassing the three gods. Janus raised his right hand, and the space around him shifted rapidly. The three of them were now outside the temple, standing before Night God and his companions. Night God was furious at the other party's betrayal and was just thinking about how to take revenge when he suddenly saw the three people appear in front of him. How is this possible? How could you possibly be outside? Night God was completely stunned. The temple's special protection prevents gods from entering and those inside from leaving. But now, I told you, you have no chance to get the message out. So hand over your power. Baal launched an attack on Night God. They need to act quickly, since they cannot stay away for too long, or they will invite the temple's destructive attack. Owzi then faced off against Wolf God. Dark magic is the most effective way to deal with such a big, dumb guy. Ganis, on the other hand, was dealing with the spirit god, but the power of spatial energy almost completely restricted his abilities. The projection is injured, and you've been implanted with dragon seeds. Do you think you can escape? You were the prey from the start. Owzi sneered as the power of darkness relentlessly devoured the blue before him. I forgot to tell you, Baal spoke again. Every word you said and every telepathic message you transmitted has been heard by us. You're hoping that those humans will open up other gaps for you. Sorry, they were on our side from the beginning. After learning that there were gods outside the great universe and that they needed to enter, they devised a series of plans, all for this moment. Lin Xiao sighed. On the way to the void, they did not find Liang Fangzhou. They did not know where he had been teleported. However, he did not come away empty-handed. He finally found Dulanju and the other two. Having communicated everything, Dulanju slowly stood up, smiled at Lin Xiao and said, "You're too late. The gods have already entered the arena, and your death is imminent." Lin Xiao frowned. Had the gods of the great universe already entered? Of course, he wouldn't believe Dulanju's words either. He looked at Calamity Spirit beside him and said, "You guys go ahead and see what happened." Calamity Spirit was naturally delighted with the new mission and readily agreed. "No problem. Leave it to us." After Calamity Spirit left, Lin Xiao's attention returned to Dulanju and the other two. "They've come in, so they're here. My mission is to rescue you and take you back. It seems you're in a bit of trouble, but it's nothing serious. Rescuing you doesn't mean you have to come back alive. Aren't you right?" Chapter 444. Listening to Lin Xiao's threatening words, Dulanju merely smiled faintly. "Your tone suggests you're quite confident in your strength. The god of war and the others also seem very confident in you, believing that sending just you alone is enough to safely rescue us. Spirit thinks highly of you. If you were to die here, I wonder what kind of expression he would have." Dulanju took 2 steps forward and took out his staff. At the same time, Jiang Lin also arrived in front of him, holding a katana, poised for battle. She was a warrior professional, and without a so-called class, she acted as the frontline. Xiao Ling immediately cast skills, applying various buffs to both of them. "Only level 78, how do you have the courage to come here? Do you really think killing a few trash mobs earlier makes you invincible? You like fighting above your level? Then let me show you just how vast the gap in our strength truly is." Dulanju raised his staff and chanted. As spatial wormholes twisted into shape, sharp earth spikes emerged, then compressed continuously, transforming into dazzling diamond light. Space and earth, a dual-element mage? Lin Xiao frowned. Earth magic was fine, but with the addition of spatial magic, it became quite troublesome. "Go!" Dulanju waved one hand, and the magic compressed into a diamond spike immediately shot towards Lin Xiao. The Starlight Unicorn had already been summoned. Seeing the opponent attack, it immediately activated its star power, forming a barrier to protect Lin Xiao. Star River Guardian. But hiding inside is useless. Dulanju laughed loudly. The next instant, Lin Xiao saw the flying diamond spike pass through a spatial wormhole, then reappear inside the barrier constructed by the Starlight Unicorn. Lin Xiao was injured as soon as they clashed, but fortunately, he dodged in time and avoided a critical wound. Jiang Lin seized the opportunity to attack. A charge split into countless afterimages, striking from all directions. Secret technique. Silent swallow. Sword light flickered, almost sealing all of Lin Xiao's retreat routes. Lin Xiao quickly scanned the afterimages in front of him, immediately locking onto the main body. Instead of dodging, he met the opponent's attack. The blade fell, blood splattered, but Lin Xiao also grabbed the opponent's sword. Got you. Lin Xiao smiled faintly, completely unconcerned by his injuries. Zhang Lin frowned. She hadn't expected a summoner to fight so recklessly, and what surprised her even more was that he had actually withstood her silent swallow with his body. Got me? Zhang Lin sneered. Do you think I have no power to resist just because you grabbed my sword? Have you watched too many novels and TV shows? Zhang Lin immediately counterattacked, but just then, Lin Xiao's fist struck directly. She hadn't seen when Lin Xiao had made his move, only feeling a strong gust of wind rush towards her, followed by intense pain in her face. Only then did she realize she had been punched. Zhang Lin's face twisted, blood streaming. Before she could counterattack, she felt another strong gust of wind. Having suffered a loss once, how could she fall for it a second time? She immediately abandoned her katana and retreated quickly. Then, a beam of healing light fell, allowing her to recover rapidly. Big sister, what happened? Your health just dropped by a third instantly. Xiao Ling said in horror. Zhang Lin's face darkened. This guy isn't normal. Even without the help of a summoned beast, his strength is terrifying. This was completely unlike any summoner she knew. Summoners themselves didn't have much combat power, so why was it the complete opposite for Lin Xiao? How could someone who can go alone not have some skill? Dulin Ju smiled faintly, his staff glowing again, and the space around Lin Xiao's location was confined. Then, countless diamond spikes slowly appeared behind Dulin Ju, locking onto Lin Xiao like guided missiles. In the face of powerful spatial force, all your methods are futile. Die! As Dulin Ju gave the command, countless diamond spikes immediately shot out. The Starlight Unicorn immediately cast Star River Guardian for Lin Xiao, but was surprised to find that its star power could not gather on him. Don't get in the way. Just stand there quietly and watch how I kill your master. Dulin Ju looked at the Starlight Unicorn, a cruel smile on his face. He used spatial power to isolate the Starlight Unicorn from Lin Xiao, preventing its power from being transmitted. Bang! Star River Guardian blocked the attack, surprising Dulin Ju, but he quickly understood the reason. So you can use the summoned beast's abilities. No wonder. But how many times can you use it? Dulin Ju raised his staff again, and diamond spikes shot out once more. At the same time, a large number of spatial wormholes formed, and the diamond spikes rapidly shuttled through them, forming a terrifying, dense attack net. Then, he pointed his staff forward, and a spatial wormhole immediately appeared next to Lin Xiao, from which a diamond spike shot out fiercely. With no time to react, Lin Xiao was injured again. Are you in despair? Let me see where I should pierce you this time. Or, if you beg for mercy, I can let you die a quick death. Dulin Ju, in the posture of a victor, scrutinized Lin Xiao, considering how to torture him to death. Lin Xiao let out a scoff. This scoff immediately made Dulin Ju's face darken. What are you laughing at? You're at death's door. I'm laughing because your spatial magic seems to be nothing special, much clumsier than your earth magic. As he spoke, the space confining Lin Xiao suddenly loosened, and he fell back to the ground. What's going on? Dulin Ju frowned, immediately pointing his staff at Lin Xiao, but found that he couldn't manipulate the space around him. At this moment, a small green figure sat smiling on Lin Xiao's shoulder. Lin Xiao playfully poked her with his index finger and said, Xiaomo, let him see your power. Nian. Xiaomo nodded, pointing a finger at the sky. Psionic power instantly covered the entire area, stabilizing this section of space. The previously formed wormholes instantly vanished, and the diamond spikes shuttling back and forth collided with each other, emitting roars, turning into dust and scattering with the wind. What's happening? What exactly happened? Why did my spatial ability fail? Dulin Ju exclaimed in shock. It seems this isn't your ability. It should be the ability of the realm of nothingness, boss. I'm curious. How did you obtain power from it? Lin Xiao asked. It was his first time seeing a human professional use a dungeon boss's ability. Of course, he only confirmed this after experiencing it firsthand. You! Dulin Ju's face twisted. He never expected Lin Xiao to be able to seal his spatial magic. But soon he calmed down, grinning savagely. Do you think I can't kill you just because you sealed my spatial magic? Ridiculous. With that, a flash of black light flickered deep within Dulin Ju's pupils.